everyone, welcome back to another video. And if you're like, Choua, you look the same. Why do you look the same? It's because I'm filming all of my intros and outros in one day. Okay? Your girl don't have time to do different outros with different makeup looks all the time. So I'm just sitting here doing it all in one go so that I have it for y'all. But I promise the content for this video is different. Just the intro and outro look the same. You know what I mean? But anyways, today we're doing eyeshadow palettes. It deserves its own video because I probably have way too many for one person. But this is the category that I don't purposely accumulate a lot in, I guess. But it just comes with the territory of having a makeup subscription. And then just liking colorful eye makeup, I guess. But anyways, let's just jump right into the video, shall we? I'm gonna start with the brands of eyeshadow palettes that I have multiples of first. So I am going to start with my Ace Beauty palettes here. I'm not gonna swatch everything. I think I'm going to swatch things towards the end of the year, maybe do like a little series for it, but for the sake of this, we're just gonna do an inventory, so I'm not gonna swatch anything, but I am going to show you. This is the Ace Beauty Grandeur palette. I think I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but this is my first, or this was my first palette from Ace Beauty in my BoxyCharm, and I really like this palette. It has a really nice color story that I played with a lot actually during my college days. So this is probably one of my oldest Ace Beauty palettes that I have. Next, I have their Vintage Dawn palette. This is such a nice palette, as you can see. It has really nice, colorful shadows in here where you can go very bright and warm or very cool. And so this is a really fun palette to play with, and I really liked this one. This one is their dusk, what is it? Their Scarlet Dusk one. This one is their pink palette, or at least one of them at least. And this is such a beautiful palette where I can wear a lot of pinks and berry toned looks with this. Love this in the fall, and I love this one when I want to do more pinky Asian inspired looks. And then this one is their Falling For You palette. I really like the packaging on this one. I just think it makes a statement. This shade right here, it did like shatter. I don't remember how it happened, but I think I dropped the palette on accident and it shattered, but I dry pressed it. And it still works perfectly fine. I really like this palette too for kind of everyday looks. You can be as dramatic or as natural as you want with this one. And so this one is actually a really good one to travel with too. These are my new Ace Beauty palettes. I have not played with these yet. I did pull them from my BoxyCharm. So this one is their Whimsical Bloom. This is their pastel kind of spring looking palette. I love this color story. I'm so excited to just be able to dig into these and play with it. I just haven't had time to play with it yet because I've been playing with so many of my other palettes, but this one is going to be a really great one for the springtime. This is their Mystic Romance one. I really like the packaging on this one too, but look at this one. This one is really nice. I like the color story for this. Very fall and winter, so I'm excited to play with this palette a little bit more when the weather gets a little bit cooler. So those are all of my Ace Beauty palettes. I have 6 of them. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about my ColourPop ones. I only have 2 of them. This is the It's My Pleasure. It's their purple one in their colorful like kind of vault. And this one was decluttered to me by my sister. I got her the whole colorful collection, and then hers came with 2 purples, so she decluttered or gifted this one to me. And so this is the purple palette from them. And then I purchased this recently this year, and this is their So Elemental palette, and this one is a really nice cool tone gray blue palette to really work with during the winter time. And I really like this so far. I think my favorite shadow in this right now is Malibu Waves. It's a little bit chunkier than the rest of these shimmers, and I just really think it makes a statement on the eyes. So I really like this one. It's a newer palette, but I've been thoroughly enjoying it every time I reach into this palette. Next are my Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palettes. I did get all of the palettes that she collabed with Morphe. I don't think they're in order anymore, but this top one is Armed and Gorgeous. This is her more yellow, golden toned kind of palette. This one is really, really beautiful. I really like this shade in the corner, VIP. This one is a really good inner corner kind of shade where you can just brighten up the inner corner with any look. I love this one. This one is Ring the Alarm. This one is more of like the warmer toned, kind of reminds me of fall colors. This one I feel like might be the palette that I go into the most out of the Vault collection, but this one is actually really beautiful for everyday looks and for fall looks. And then we have Bling Boss. This is her berry and like kind of purple toned palette. Very, very nice. I really like the colors in here. I do have to say, however, that the payoff for these colors aren't always the best on the eyes. It can kind of get patchy if you don't prep the eyes properly. But other than that, I really like the color story in this palette as well. And then the last one in her Vault collection is Dark Magic. This one is probably my least played with, I feel like, but I really like the grungy color tones in here. Very nice to use in the winter time, and I do reach in this one a lot during the Halloween season. I just think it's because in October, it's kind of when I feel a little bit more grungy with my looks, so I do go in this one a little bit more during that time. These are in my project pans. This is the first one, very, very dirty, and so you can tell that it's been loved. This is her first palette, and as you can tell, I have used a lot of it already. I did repress Silk Cream, so that way I can go in with my brush a little bit better, so that's why it looks like it doesn't have a pan anymore. I really like this palette. I feel like I can use all of these shades eventually, but I'm going to be slowly working on this in my project pan, but also I really want to just use all of this up and get rid of this palette because it's really old now. This is her second one. This one is a very nice palette as well. I really, really like it. As you can tell, there's a lot of disturbance in a lot of these in a lot of these shades. And of course you can see the little pans in some of these shades as well. But you can tell that even the ones that are not really in my project pan to like focus on, they have been loved a lot. So like I'm in it. Love this one for like a inner corner when I wear pinks and purple looks. And this one has a lot of fallout in it, but this is Talia, and this is a very nice golden shimmer that I love wearing too, and especially in the summertime. But yeah, I really like this palette as well. So I have all 6 of the palettes from Morphe x Jaclyn Hill, and I am really hoping to pan all of these and get it out of my collection because they're getting really old. Next, I have my Juvia's Place palettes. I have 5 palettes. So these are the 2 small ones. This one is the Rebel Honey. Very, very nice quad. Really like it a lot. I haven't really played with this one yet. I have swatched it a couple of times, I feel like, but I haven't actually played with this one, but I should since it is the summertime. So this one is not really touched. This one, however, the Rebel Grays, I played with this one a couple of times already, and I love this palette so much. I think this quad will be a very nice complementary palette to a lot of my neutral looking palettes in the future. Really, really like this one. Next is my the Violets palette, and this one I haven't put on the eyes yet. I have swatched it, but I haven't put on the eyes yet, and so hopefully I can get some hopefully I can, you know, set this aside and put it in my everyday vanity and play with this during the fall time. But I really wanted to get this one because I love purples, and purple is one of my favorite colors. So I saw this and it was on discount, and so I decided to get this one. This one is Juvia's Royal, not Royal. This is Juvia's Warrior 3 palette. This one is a very beautiful, colorful palette. I actually really like this palette a lot when I want to be very colorful with my eye looks. I feel like it has really nice deepening shades and shades that I can use kind of like in as a transition shade and whatever. So I really like this palette a lot. This is a newer palette as well. I purchased this year and I really like it so far. And then we have the Warrior 2 palette. This one I purchased for dance when I was still a part of dance. And this one is an all matte palette. I haven't reached into this one as often as I would like to ever since I retired from dance. But I love these colors a lot where I can see myself using these colors as transition shades and pan this entire palette because I do like all of these shades. Next, I have Natasha Denona. I got all of these in my BoxyCharm. These are, what is it, her 5 eyeshadow palettes. I think these are known as her minis. I'm not too sure. I'm not a Natasha Denona stan. Like, her products are really pretty and everything, but I'm not like a super big fan or anything like that. But this is her Cupid palette. This one is very pink, very romantic to me at least, and so this one is really nice to wear during February, like Valentine's Day. So this one is really nice. Then I have her palette Ayana. This is a very grungy-esque kind of palette. I really like this one too, although I don't really reach for this one quite a lot. Unless I am forced to play with this one. I just think it's because I feel like I can create more looks with other palettes, so I reach for more grungier palettes that have more shades than this. So I don't know, I feel like I need to play with this one a little bit more, otherwise I might have to declutter this one. And then lastly, I have her mini palette in Peak. This one is my first palette that I got in my BoxyCharm that is from Natasha Denona, and this one is a really nice everyday neutral looking kind of palette where I can see myself actually keeping this one and panning it because these are the shades that I go for on a daily basis. If I get more in my BoxyCharm, I will keep them. Otherwise, I'm not gonna go out of my way and purchase her palettes. Next, I have 2 Tarte palettes. These are also from my BoxyCharm subscription. This one is the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3 palette. This is kind of like an all shimmer palette. Very nice. I played with this a lot when I first got it. Whenever I needed a shimmer on the eyes, I reached for this palette a lot. However, recently I haven't really been reaching for this one because I have other palettes that have pretty shimmers as well that I have neglected for a very long time. So now this palette is being neglected because I'm paying attention to my other palettes too. So I need to put this in a project or something. Next is the Be You Naturally by Tarte. This one has mattes and shimmers. This one is not really my go-to out of these two. I reach for the Rainforest one a little bit more, but this one is a really nice color story, very natural looking. I can create a lot of dramatic eye looks with this one or Asian inspired eye looks. So I am going to keep this one. And this one still smells really good after all these years. So I only have 2 Tarte palettes, which are these. And I don't think I'll go out of my way to purchase Tarte palettes unless it's like on sale on Ipsy or it's sent to me in my BoxyCharm. The last brand that I have multiple eyeshadow palettes from is Violet Vase. And so I have 6 of her palettes right here. This is her Essentials palette. I really like this one. This is the first one I've ever received in my BoxyCharm. Love this one. I used it to death. Of course, I didn't pan it though, but I did use this one a lot to do dramatic eye looks, to do a lot of muted pink eye looks. So this one is really nice. I really like this one, and I just can't really get rid of it because it's so beautiful, and I feel like I can use this in more projects in the future. And then I got her Essentials 2 palette. This one is all of these were sent to me in my BoxyCharm, by the way. So this is her Essentials 2 palette. This one is so gorgeous. I was actually super happy and excited that they had Essentials 2 in my box. no, one more time. I was actually really excited when I saw that this one was in my box because I loved the first palette so much that this one was going to be a great addition to my collection. So I really love the color story of this one. This one gave me a little bit more color that I don't really have in my collection. So I can create very natural looking looks here. I can do very dramatic and colorful looks. So I really like this palette as well. This one is Disco Drip. This is a newer palette that I brought into my collection this year from my BoxyCharm stash. I have not played with this one at all yet. I haven't even swatched it. I hope that I can pull this and put it into a project so that way I can play with this palette a little bit more. But look at that. Look at the color story. All of these are shimmers except this one, if you know, you know, is a matte brown, but every other shade in here is shimmer. So I'm really excited to play with this one. This is the Violet Sunset. Oh my goodness, I love this one so much. This is a very, very good palette to go for if you really like pink looks or pink and brown looks. I used this one a lot when I was still living in my old apartment as my everyday palette where I played with only usually browns and pinks and sometimes gold. So I really like this palette a lot. Love, love it. And then this one is her Sun-Kissed Summer palette. This one is more golden. Love this one in the summertime. Really like the shimmers in here. Very stunning. The mattes in here are good as well, but usually I play with the shimmers in here a little bit more, and I use mattes in different palettes to complement this. So it's really, really nice color. Like I don't think I have a whole lot of like yellow shades in my collection. I could be wrong, but this one was a really nice addition, and so that's why I still have it. And lastly, I have the Violet Vase Sakura Blossom palette. This is the pink palette that really got me into pink looks. I was really excited and happy that I got this in my BoxyCharm because I loved pink at the time when I got this one. So I used a lot of the pinks in here. The shimmers in here were stunning, and even more of their golden tone shimmers in here. Like it stood out to me a lot. So I was able to use a lot of these shades to create looks. Of course, there are some shades in here that are not really touched, like these two bottom here, but I know for sure that I'm going to be able to give this some more love during the February month and the spring cherry blossom season. Now we're going to move into my miscellaneous palettes where I don't have multiples of. Alright, so I don't have any order, so I'm just going to go with the smallest ones first. And this one is my Ciate London Olive 9 Pan Shadow. I put this one in a 10 use project before, and this one is a really, really nice palette. I actually started to enjoy green looks a little bit more because of this palette. So I am going to keep this in my palette, not my palette. I am going to keep this to use up probably, especially the mattes. I don't know about the shimmers, but for sure the mattes I really, really like. And the greens in here are very beautiful. So definitely going to keep this for the springtime. Next is my Laura Lee Party Animal palette. This one I received in my BoxyCharm. A lot of these palettes I received in my BoxyCharm, but this one is one of my most colorful ones, at least before I purchased my Juvia's Place and the other palettes. But this one is a really nice palette. Color-wise, when it comes to quality-wise, I don't really reach for it that much because of that. It can get kind of patchy. And it takes a lot of shadow to really build on a colorful look when I use this palette. So I do have to go in with at least 1 or 2 more palettes to really create a super beautiful, colorful look. So I don't know about this palette. I feel like I might put this on the chopping block. I'm not too sure yet. I don't know. I would have to play with this a little bit more. I've only reached for this maybe 5 times since I've had this palette, and I've had this palette for about 4 years now. So I don't know if I should keep it or not. Let me know what you think. And then this one is my Phase Zero, the Necessities eyeshadow palette. This one is in my Project Pan. I did franken these 2 shades, like I said, in my Project Pan update. And there was a lot of shadow, so I only put a little bit of the pink into the orange one, and I pressed that together, and then the remaining pink shade I left as is and I repressed it. So my goal is to finish this entire pink pan first before I move into this one. So that way I have an open space where I can press in another shade if I really wanted to. Next is my Wonder Beauty Sweet Escape. This one was entered into one of my Project 10 uses. And so I did get to know this a little bit more, and ever since I have learned that I don't really reach for cool toned purples. I reach for more neutral or warmer toned purples. I don't know why, but I still really like this palette. I will still continue to use it and keep it in my collection, but I think as of right now, this isn't my go-to purple palette. I have other purples that I enjoy a little bit more in my collection. Next is my Revolution Makeup, my Makeup Revolution palette in Forever Flawless Allure. This one is in my Project Level Up. I haven't done any updates for this one because I haven't been reaching for this one. I thought I was going to be able to reach for this one more, but I feel like I'm just having way too much fun with other palettes that I don't really reach for this one. So that's why there is no update for Project Level Up right now. But as you can tell, it's very beautiful to create very Asian inspired looks or very natural muted eye looks with this one. Or you can even go dramatic with this one. I feel like the pigmentation in this palette is not the best, so I do feel like I do have to use a lot more of the shadows to create a look with this. Next is my Cab Cosmetics in Day and Night. And so this one is actually very beautiful. I feel like this is an everyday palette for me. I played with it a lot when I was still in college, but I kind of stopped myself because I have other palettes that I wanted to enjoy a little bit more too. I feel like this palette might make it as a candidate for a Pan That Palette project in the future, so we shall see. But this one I really like. I enjoyed it a lot while I played with it, and I just feel like this color story is very me when I want to create very natural looking looks or Asian inspired looks and whatnot. So really love this palette as well. Next is my Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette. This is one of my only cool toned palettes that are browns. And so I do keep this one around a lot when I do want to wear cool tones and I want it all in one palette. So I do really love the shades in here. I did play with every single shade in the past, and so I did create really beautiful looks with this palette. And technically I could declutter this because I do have similar shades in different palettes, but it's just something about having all of this in one palette where I can travel with it. I can just go in and do a whole look with one palette. That's very convenient to me. So I will continue to use this because I can use this as liner. I can use this to fill in my brows. I can use this for a lot of things. So I am going to keep this in my collection. I don't know if I would pan this palette, but it will stay in my collection until I get bored of it. Next, I have some longer palettes. And so this is the Ofra Symphony palette. This is very purple. I pulled this from my BoxyCharm stash this year, but I haven't actually played with this one yet. But I really hope that I can in the future. I do need to really play with this one because I keep opening it up and really want to play with it, but then I decide to play with my Project Pan eyeshadow palettes instead. So I should just really put this in a project so I can get used to it. Not used to it, so I can get some use out of it. And this is my Dose of Color Sassy Sienna. This palette is an all matte palette, and I really love this when I want to create a very matte, muted, natural eye look. I use this a lot when I was really into Asian inspired makeup looks. Love this palette. I don't think I will be able to get rid of this because this is my go-to when I need a matte shadow and I just don't want to reach into my entire eyeshadow collection. This is a safe palette for me to travel with, safe palette for me to create, Western looks, Asian looks, all that. Next is my Hello Charmer eyeshadow palette. This palette was specifically made for BoxyCharm, and so a lot of these names are very relevant, or not relevant, are very closely related to like the lingo that BoxyCharm uses. I really love this palette. Ever since I did my neglected makeup video, I started to like this palette a lot more, started to fall in love with it a little bit more. And it's definitely one of those palettes where I would love to pan this in the future. I just think it's so beautiful. You can create natural looking looks, you can be dramatic with this, and the shimmers in here is just so gorgeous. So I love this palette as well. Okay, so now we have a Beauty Creations palette. This is the Esmeralda 2. Look at this palette. It's very cool toned, but you also get a little bit of warm toned shades in here as well. Very versatile. When I do want to travel with an eyeshadow palette that can give me both natural and colorful looks, I tend to reach for this one because I really like to be able to have the mattes that I need for natural looks, but also the colors if I want to go and do like a get ready with me for like a date night or something like that. So I really like this palette and the quality is really good. And then I have a palette from Dominique Cosmetics. This is her Celestial Thunder palette. Love this. You can tell that it still has the embossing and everything on it, but I have played with the mattes in this one a lot. I played with this shimmer right here too. Love this palette so much. I do feel like I need to play with this a lot more. I have only reached for this a handful of times ever since it's been in my collection, but it's just because I feel like this palette is a very event specific palette where I have to be in the mood for these colors, or it's to like match a theme or something, you know what I mean? But I really love this. The pan size for these shadows are huge, so this palette is going to stay in my collection for a long time. I really like this one. And then this one is by Alamar Cosmetics, and this is their Destino palette, and so it has a little opening right here where you can lock or unlock it. And this is how the palette looks like. I have not played with this palette yet. This I pulled into my collection recently. And so I feel like I might take this with me to travel with, just because it's a very summer, ocean vibe kind of makeup palette where I can wear this during my travel. So who knows? It's a little bit bulky in packaging, but the colors look so beautiful that I do want to keep this in my collection and play with first. And look at that. Like, it has just enough shade range in here for you to create natural and dramatic colorful eye looks. So I really like this one. And it has a black shade in here. I don't necessarily need more black eyeshadows in my collection, but this one has a black, so I can use this as a liner if I do travel and everything too. So yeah. And then last but not least are my last two eyeshadow palettes. This one is by Beauty Bakeries. This is their Breakfast in Bed 9-pan shadow palette. This is very beautiful. As you can tell, it's very cool toned. I have not played with this palette yet. I have swatched it a little bit, but I haven't played with it yet. So I am hoping to be able to play with this in the future, near future I should say, hopefully in the fall times, because this is really what I go for during the cooler seasons, especially when we are going from summer to fall. And then this one is the Give Them Lala Beauty palette in the Grown Woman. Really love this color story as well. Very natural, so if you're like kind of a clean girl or very natural eyeshadow look kind of girl, then this palette will be for you, because there's nothing dramatic about this palette. Dare I say it's a boring palette, but this palette, I feel like if there are days where I just want to put something on the eyes but I don't really want to think about my eye look, I would reach for this one, because you have your mattes, you have your shimmers, and you can build with this palette, or you can just pop something on the eyes and you will look gorgeous with this palette. This is a very nice companion palette to more colorful palettes as well. So although it's very boring in my eyes, it's boring enough to the point where it's safe. So I do keep this around because of that. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for just being here and sitting down and listening to me geek out about makeup in this makeup inventory series. Let me know if you prefer this kind of setup and series versus like my actual first makeup inventory that I did in March. That one was kind of just like photos and I just talked through it. Let me know what you prefer. And also let me know how many makeup palettes you have down below. I would love to know. And also just let me know if you have similar or the same palettes as I do. Because I feel like some of these palettes I don't see any other content creators having in their collection. They have a lot of more like mainstream makeup brands in their collections versus for me, I have a lot of indie. But anyways, thank you so much for just being here. Like and subscribe, comment down below on what you would like to see next, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!